like when I started this course, because I had a experience back in 2011, because back then data wasn't a big thing. Only software developers everywhere. Because I remember when I said and I'm a data developer, people are like is it even a job in IT? Like data, the people are like, data is not a big thing. There's no future for it. So that's why I worked there for a few years. And then when I came back, I did a different thing. I ended up in a different field. But when I started on last year, 2020, so the data was completely different. The world was completely different. The technology was different. I worked in 2008 SQL Server back then, but it was 2018 when I started. So everything, the technology was evolved completely in a different way. So I was so intimidated when I started. Even though I learned Power BI and SQL 1 month prior to start off this course, like a couple of weeks, I tried to refresh my previous skills, like whether is it I'm still has got the same foundation or not. But the SQL wasn't a hard thing for me, because since I had the SQL is still same now, so just the concept is still same. So SQL was easy for me to come back and get my touch into it. But Power BI was something so new to me. But it was the thing is, the learning Power BI wasn't a big difficult. It was so interactive. It was a pretty easy way. The only part is like the programming part. That's a different thing. So you have to put more effort. You want to be an expert in Power BI? Yes, you have to put more effort in DAX. So when I started, yes, absolutely, I was so intimidated. But I believe the course structure in MVP is definitely it's a plus. Somebody from an IT background would be able to start from where they live. It was like I would say it wasn't a beginner level. It wasn't like an expert level. It is sort of a balanced level for sure. It started off really well, and the workload is completely like we only have like 3 days a week, so the workload is completely fine. So we were able to manage, even though we were working. So even though we were working other jobs, we were able to spend some time and refresh the previous class before coming to the next class. So the workload the initial classes, the structures did really help me to get the pace slowly. Yes, when we started the internship, it was slow since it was new. Yeah, it took a bit of a time at the start. So until the mid of advanced task, I was a bit slow, and my other teammates, they might have other commitments, so it's hard to get them together, for a Zoom meeting at times, because they are from different time zone and they have different family commitment and other stuff. So yeah, but still we were able to finish our team, like me, Nazreen, and then Rai, there's another guy from Australia. So we were able to finish it off, I think, a couple of weeks after the deadline. I think I had a good team, like Nazreen and then other guys. So we had a good team, so that's why we were able to pull this thing off. And this internship, even the internship wasn't like, it was like going step by step. It wasn't like a giant leap or something. So we started with the basics, and then slowly we went on the data cleaning up step. So it allowed us more time to explore the internet and to learn the technology as well. So we are not only doing this internship for a lot of things. Internship doesn't take most of our time. So we had more time. We had time to research about solutions for the things as well. So it was a balanced kind of thing for sure. Because since it was like only 20 hours a week, I was able to manage my time properly. And what happened is, after 6 months, I went back to my home country. I went back to India to bring my wife back to New Zealand. So she got stuck there for about a year. And this remote internship, it really helped me. So I was there, and I remember I woke up every single morning at 6 a.m. to sit for the meeting. So that's why all the time my screen will be black. I just literally wake up, and then I'll just turn on the meeting and then work from home. It was challenging there, but I was committed to it. I wanted to learn, so I want to improve myself. So I want to improve myself. So I kept on learning. We just we landed in New Zealand, like it's like 40 days now. So with like last month, we literally came in. So until then, I didn't apply for jobs because I wanted to improve my skills. So that's why I took my time to learn everything. So I did my part in advanced track. I did my part in even in the Stack Overflow project as well. I took my time to learn myself, upskill my skills and myself. When I thought I'm ready for the market, then I applied for a job. And Southern Cross is my first job that I applied. I got it now. I applied like more than 60, 70 jobs, and I've been to like more than 6 interviews so far, and this is my first job. I got it right away. But it was a long process. Started with a phone interview, and then a couple of technical rounds, and then there was an online assessment as well, and then there was an HR round at the end. So it was a long process. But I'm so happy that I pulled it off. I'm here today as a data analyst today. I can call myself data analyst, and it's not a short process. It is a long process. It took me 1 year to become a data analyst. So I think that's a part. That is the part that most of the people like missing. I guess they are not like, they don't want to spend some time to learn this skill. They stay for a couple of months, and once they in the middle of advanced stuff, they'll be like, okay, I'm ready for the market, and they apply for jobs. And then since they don't get reply from their recruiter because of their lack of experience, and they became like, no, it's not working out, things like that. So I think for this one, the commitment is the key for this one. So if you're committing to learn, so you have to. It is a long process. It is a long process because technology is changing every day. So, and you need to be aware of the technology, aware of the trend. So you need to put a minimum of like at least a year effort, upskill yourself. When you know the market, when you think that you are ready for the market, then you go for the job. And that's exactly what I did. So I waited for 10 months. So after I came to New Zealand, I started applying for a job, and I got the first job that I applied for. So yeah, throughout the journey, the few things like patience, commitment, and constant learning, those really helped me. And the structure, like I said, the structure you had in the MVP and industry, it's definitely it would help anybody with the intermediate skill to get into their professional job first. Oh yes, definitely, because I've been referred by like I said, my previous friend Gokul as well. So because when we went on to lockdown, I really don't know what to do, because there's no job out there. The only thing is like either I can learn something, or I can wait for lockdown to get over and then go out on the street and look for a job. That's when I contacted my friend, because one of my flatmate, he was a data analyst. So after I spoke to him, and I remember like during the lockdown, he gave me some of the stuff like, so you know Excel and SQL, right? Can you do this stuff for me? And I was helping him, and then I got interested in data. So that's when I contacted my friend Gopal and said, since he did a software development job back in 2014, and he said yes, they really win. The skills back then, 14 was a different thing. I don't know what is happening in the state, but it's definitely you can give it a go. It'll in 6 or 4 months. It's a long process. You definitely gain some experience, and then you can you can get into the IT field, and that's exactly what I did, because I was referred my friend, and definitely I would refer my friend as well, because my wife, she's into IT as well. She just finished her Salesforce admin and developer certification as well, and she's trying to get into the data field as well. So that's what I'm probably. She's going to apply for jobs and look for jobs in Auckland once we move to Auckland. And if we're going to try our initial luck, because she has a 1 year of experience in overseas. So if we get a job, should be fun. If not, probably I'll just hook her up into the industry connect. Just let her learn the New Zealand market, how the things are. I'm trying to get some, trying to improve her skills, and then I'm gonna let her apply for jobs. So you probably might come back and ask. The support in the community is really good, especially in MVP. There's Ray is there and you're here, so whenever we are we need enough guidance or something like that, we can always just text you guys, and you'll always come back to us guys. That is the main thing, building the community over here. End of the day, if we frustrated, okay, I'm not getting enough job, and what should I need to do? Then we can just ask for we can go for the appointment, things like that. We can learn few steps. I remember the one point you mentioned in one of our team meetings, for selling yourself, because I sold myself really well. That's why I got the data analyst. Even though we have skills, it's the end of the day how you perform in an interview. how you perform in your presence of mind would get you a job for sure. Because then my first interview went for about 1 hour 45 minutes, and there was a lot of questions. There was kind of 4 people. They were constantly shooting on questions one after one, and that's what they even said. The one feedback he gave me this morning is like, "Are we happy to give you an offer?" The reason being like, you were really open, and then you were like honest to yourself. Your answers were honest, and that's why we chose you. And that's the key, how you present yourself and how you be honest, and then only you'll get a job. If not, if you're trying to look for shortcuts and other stuff, you probably one day or someday you will get into trouble for sure. And yeah, that's the thing. And for that also, we have a session for the employability session. That really helped me as well. Because I couldn't attend most of the time on it, but the recorded one, yeah, it's definitely with me. I can always go back and check what I've missed this week or something like that. So like the program structure, like I mentioned, it's a great thing, especially for an intermediate guy who has an IT background. Definitely it would help. Now we have every help through the support. Yeah, great support here.